So let's talk about what happens to girls when they feel excluded from the group. We know that the brain absolutely goes into a state of fear and panic because it forgets that we're in the 2024s and believes we're back in the caveman days where being part of the clan or the tribe was absolutely essential for their survival. What happens is when a girl is feeling excluded from the group, she goes into a state of fight, flight, freeze, or submit. But what does that look like? And I want you to listen to these examples, and I want you to comment below if your child is doing one of these, or if you yourself have done it in your own peer group, either growing up or now. So let's look at fight, flight, freeze, or submit. So in a peer setting, what that looks like is a fight is they might physically fight for their position, or they may actually do whatever they can to not physically have a fight and challenge people, but they may go into a state of jostling for position. Now, what that might look like is they may become the bully in that situation. They may be the one that tries to harm others and exclude others, so that the focus is not on them. That's something that can happen. They may jostle for position by trying to be the stronger one, or they may jostle for position by trying to be the one that's there for others and putting their own needs aside. Either way, it's a fight for position. Flight can look like things like wanting to hide, school refusal. It can look like not necessarily fleeing in a state of flight from the group, because remember, staying in the group, in the peer group, is all that matters here. But flight can definitely look like things like, being conflict avoidance and not ever wanting to stand up for themselves, for example. It can look like that. It can look like trying to pretend like nothing's happening. So flight can look like that. And now let's look at freeze and submit. If your daughter or son is going into a state of freeze, then what can happen is they can shut down. They can, feel unable to live their everyday life. They don't want to go outside of their room. They don't want to talk to anyone. They're literally in a state of freeze where, and it's brain activity affecting the body. Like they're not behaving, it's actually a neuroscience, it's science. The brain is having this impact on the brain. The brain's gone into a state of freeze. It's real, okay? If your daughter is going into a state of submit, then what that can look like is, for example, someone else in the group might come and confront them, right? You did this and you did this and whatever. But what they do is you'll hear your child say, "Oh, I didn't know what to say, and I just said, I'm sorry, and I didn't mean it." And afterwards they may reflect and say, "But I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that I actually am sorry. I don't think I've got anything to be sorry for. But in that moment, I said it." That's submission. That's a child going into submission because of their brain feeling so afraid of being excluded from the group. Comment below. Does your child, when they are feeling excluded from the group, child or teenager, you know what I mean, go into a state of fight, flight, freeze, or submit? Comment and let me know. Or even yourself. What have you done? Happens in the adult world too. Let me know.